Hi, I'm Jansen Chan, and I'm the pastry chef at Oceana Restaurant in Manhattan, New York. And today I'm going to make a blueberry mochi cake served with coconut tapioca pearls. This dish is actually on the menu at the restaurant currently. I came up with this particular dish based on textures. Mochi is a common cake, anything made with rice, commonly found in East Asia. Japanese, Korean, and Chinese cultures all have some form of mochi. So this particular one is based on a mochi cake. It's going to have a nice chewiness to it and nice crispness. But I'm going to start first by making the coconut tapioca pearls. Tapioca pearls can be commonly found in the supermarket. They are from the cassava root, and they are a starch that actually forms around pearls of water, and that's how it gets its unique shape. So to start this, we're going to mix coconut milk, water, sugar, and salt. And we're going to bring this to a boil. It's important to whisk it a little bit in case the sugar is on the bottom of the pan. You wouldn't want it to caramelize from the direct heat. So now that the liquids have come to a boil, we can now add our tapioca pearls. Because of the high amount of starch, you want to add the pearls slowly while whisking constantly so that they don't stick together and that they remain independent balls. So whisking slowly, I'll add my tapioca. So continue whisking until the mixture comes back to a boil, in which time you can then turn it down and simmer and let it cook for about 15 minutes. By then, the balls will be nice and tender with a nice chew to it. So when the mixture is ready, though, we'll take it off the heat, put plastic wrap on the surface to keep the skin from forming, and then add some lemon juice to give a nice tartness to complement the coconut flavor. Here are the tapioca pearls after they've been cooled and incorporated with the lemon juice. Notice that the pearls have grown in size and that the liquid around each pearl has thickened considerably from the starch that's been released in the cooking process. So the next part of the dish is the mochi batter. And actually, this batter can be used with other fruits. I've done it before with apples in the fall, but right now in the summertime we're going to use blueberries. So the first part of the cake will be to infuse vanilla bean into the milk. So we're going to start. We're going to start with our milk. I have half a vanilla bean here, which I'm going to split open. It's important to split open the pod to release the seeds. If you don't have vanilla bean, you can substitute with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm going to heat the milk with the vanilla bean to allow it to steep. The process of heating up the milk is important because it releases the oils that are in the bean skin itself. Also, since I have the burner on, I'm going to start melting my butter. We can start mixing the dry ingredients first. And that involves sugar, rice flour. Rice flour can be found in most Asian sections of the supermarket. Baking powder, and salt. So we're going to mix the dry ingredients first before applying any of the wet ingredients. So our milk has come to a boil with the vanilla bean. Ideally, you would like to cover it and let it infuse for about 20 minutes before straining it out. So we're going to strain out the vanilla bean to remove any larger pieces within the bean. We have our dry ingredients mixed together, and now in another bowl, we're going to put together all the wet ingredients. So we have our milk, our eggs, and we have our calvados. By mixing the wet ingredients separately before applying it to the dry ingredients, we can really work the mixture and combine this, minimizing the amount of time that we need to mix with the larger batter. So now that the wet mixture is all combined, it's down, we can now add it to our rice, flour, sugar, dry combination here. So now we can add our butter. Now here's a nice trick that I like to do when I need to add melted butter to a batter. I take the melted butter. Typically melted butter, when applied to another batter that's cold, it has a tendency to want to clump up. So actually what I'm going to do is temper in the butter into the mixture by actually applying it, adding to the warm butter. That way the butter doesn't have a chance to solidify too quickly. And what you'll find that you have is a nicer, smoother batter by doing it with this method. So now we have our finished mochi batter. It's a very wet, loose batter, but it will bake up nice. So I'm going to bake my blueberry mochis in these 4-ounce tins. You can use any kind of cupcake mold or tins that are the similar size, or you can do a larger one in a cake pan. We're going to add about 1/4 cup of batter to each. Extra batter can be reserved for another use. Just store it in the refrigerator with plastic wrap. In fact, this is a great trick. You can make the batter the day in advance and then bake the day that you need it. So I'm going to add about 5 to 6 blueberries, depending on the size, directly into the batter. If you were to substitute another fruit, such as apples or raspberries, you can do the exact same process. With the apples, I would peel them and slice them thinly first so that the apples cook. So this will go into an oven of 400 degrees for about 20 to 22 minutes with a rotation. Anytime you put things in the oven, there are hot spots, so it's key to rotate throughout the process. Okay. And so here we have the finished product. I let them cool in the tins. To remove them, simply run a knife around the edges, and it'll come out. It's a nice single piece. All right, so now we're going to apply boiling simple syrup over the blueberries. This will do two things. This will help bring out the dark colors of the blueberries and also give a nice sugary glaze to the outside of each blueberry. Okay, I'm going to strain this to remove excess syrup, because we're not looking to really cook the blueberries, but rather just give them a nice coating. So now that we have all our 3 elements finished and ready, we have the mochi cake, the coconut tapioca pearls, and our glazed blueberries, we can put the whole dish together. So we're going to put our blueberry cake, and if you like, you can warm this up a little bit. Surround it with the nice chewy coconut tapioca. Part of this dish is the messy feel of the tapioca pearls running over the plate. So have fun with it. Next we'll nestle in the blueberries around it. Should get rid of that pearl. I like to put some blueberries on top of the coconut tapioca pearls to give a nice contrast in colors. To finish this, I am now going to place a scoop of coconut sorbet with some coconut twirls. And we'll do one more. And there you have blueberry mochi cake with coconut tapioca.